Good morning, my loves. Happy Sunday. We are talking priorities. Yes, it is another bright, glorious day here at the lake. Very bright. So we're talking priorities. What are your top 3, 5, 10 priorities? Get a piece of paper and make a list. For me, in my life, it is God, it is self, it's my family, and then my career, and then my friends. But not everybody sees things the way I do, so make a list. And in one column, make the list of what the priorities are. The second, why? So that you see for yourself why this is a priority. Maybe you need to shift your priorities. That's why we're kind of doing this exercise. In my world, God has always been my top priority. Now, not everybody is of the same faith, and that doesn't matter. So it's whomever you pray to. We're going to put it that way, okay? So we can say God / source / creator / whatever, okay? But in my world, God is my nav system. He helps me make the right decisions. Oh, yes, because I believe in synchronicity, that everything happens for a reason. And I was speaking to someone just recently and that needed a little wisdom and needed a little guidance, and we happened to end up talking. And they said, this must be a God thing. And it's like, yeah, I think it's a God thing. Because when two paths of two random strangers intersect and I can help somebody, they can open up and share, or I can give them a little wisdom and they get some clarity. That's a God thing. I have had throughout my career, and even as a nurse, things that happened, people that I've met, things I've experienced. It's just, how in the world did this ever happen? Well, I like to think God's behind it, that if He wants you to meet somebody, it's going to happen. If something is meant for you, it will find you. You have to be patient. Boy, do you have to be patient, but it will happen. It will. I truly, truly think that. That's a Brenda thing. But that is why God is my nav system. If I decide, and I have had this happen so many times, years ago, perfect example, years ago, there were 2 jobs that I wanted. I was a nurse. One job was in surgical intensive care, and I really wanted that. But there was another job in the same hospital, but it was in acute coronary care. And I loved acute coronary care, and I knew everybody there. And I really, I couldn't decide. So I said, okay, God, you pick. You tell me what is best for me. And as he's starting to do this, I said, no, trust me. I know what I'm doing. I'll pick. Okay, that was not smart. And luckily he intervened, and I did end up in surgical intensive care, which I absolutely loved. And one of the reasons I wanted to go to acute coronary care is I knew the head of the department, and they were a good friend of mine, and it would be fun to be working with my friend. Well, right after I would have gotten that job, they left that department and went somewhere else. So I wouldn't have been working with my friend at all. The person they brought in was not necessarily a nice person. I would have been miserable. Okay. Yeah, God knew what he was doing. He usually does. We just have to let go and let him handle it. Stop getting in the way. Just let him do his thing. If he's guiding you, if your gut is telling you to do something, I like to think that's God, your angels, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. Trust God. Trust God. But that's just Brenda. That's a me thing. That's me and my nav system. You do you. Second is self. If you don't take care of you, no one will. And we all know what happens when we don't take care of ourselves. Life goes to hell in a handbasket very quickly. You can't take care of others if you don't take care of yourself. You can't serve others from an empty vessel. You will become exhausted, overwhelmed. You will become physically, mentally, emotionally, psychologically exhausted, and you can end up physically ill in the hospital. It happens all the time. It is important that you eat decent food. I do not mean eating a can of Pringles or a bag of Doritos and a Snickers. Eat some decent food, please. You need to drink more than soda, beer, and coffee. You really need to drink water. You really do. Growing up, I hated water. You would never catch me drinking water. I lived in St. Louis. You would not catch me drinking water. I moved to Arizona. We live for water. I cannot tell you how many glasses of water I drink every day. Because here, it's 100 million degrees and you kind of need the water. But I'm used to it now. And I like to think it does wonders for my complexion. I mean, other than a few wrinkles, I don't look half bad. Well, your body needs water. It needs decent food as fuel, and it needs water, not beer, not soda, not tea. It needs water to flush the toxins out of your system. If you're filling your system with soda and coffee and tea and beer and all of that, you're just adding toxins into the system. You need water to flush the system. Plain and simple. My next priority is my family, my son, daughter-in-law, and my granddaughter. They're the world to me. I love them to the moon and back. Absolutely. They are a priority. And of course, I have extended family, people that I have that are just family because they're beyond a close friend. That after some of these people I have known 50 years, and they are like my big brothers and big sisters, and they are my family. And they are a priority in my life. And you guys know who you are. And that's okay, because they're family. Then you have career. So often, career gets moved to first or second position. I think that's a mistake. Your job is important. Your job brings in the income, the health insurance, your livelihood. You didn't go to college for nothing, for those of us that went to college. So your career is very important. But does it have to be your whole world? Are you sacrificing your family for your job? That's so easy to have happen. I see it all the time. That you have deadlines, you have a career, you're trying to get a promotion, you're a surgeon and you have a big surgery coming up that's a very unique surgery and you're too focused on that. You're an attorney, you have a big trial coming up and you're hyper focused on that. You're a judge and you have a big trial coming up and you're focused on that. I have clients that are celebrities and you have a tour coming up and you're very focused on that. And yes, I have a couple of politicians, and it's very easy for them right now to get their priorities messed up. And I have to remind them that self is separate than career. There is more to you than being whatever it is you're trying to become. You're a mom, you're a dad, you're a brother, you're a sister. And then you are whatever your job is. So please check that. Just stop and have a little talk with yourself about where career belongs in your list of priorities. Because, sweetheart, your family's going to be your family. Your mom's your mom, your dad's your dad until they're gone. Your siblings will be your siblings. Your spouse, well, the spouses do come and go, but your babies, I shouldn't say babies, my son's 45. Your family will be your family forever. He will always be my son, and I am thrilled. My granddaughter will always be my granddaughter. And yes, my daughter-in-law will always be my daughter-in-law. Even if, God forbid, something happens between the two of them, she's family because she's my granddaughter's mama. She will always be family. So family's always family. You always deserve a slot in your priorities. You have to take care of you to take care of everything else. So where does career fall into this? Are you losing yourself to your career? Are you shoving your family aside for your career? That's something to think about. I see it happen a lot. And then you don't get the promotion. The company goes out of business. You get fired. You get laid off. You get injured and you're no longer able to work, or maybe you're off work for a couple of years. And then you're left with people that you have pushed out of your life, that you have pushed aside because you pretty much told them by your behaviors they're not important to you. All that matters is your job. All that matters to you is money. It must have been a year or two back. I posted something about priorities on LinkedIn. And a young man answered back. He was from a different country. And he really could care less about God. He said his only priority was money and power. That was it. That is so sad. But I know a lot of people that are like this. But it's so sad and it's so shallow. Money comes and goes. Power comes and goes. Jobs come and go. Friends come and go. But what's always going to be there? No matter what. No matter if you lose your fortune, you go bankrupt, your country's overthrown. What are 3 or 4 things that are always going to be there? Always. God, yourself, and your family. That's why they're priorities. And of course, then we have friends. I have lovely friends that I cherish. They are all over the world. And they mean the world to me. And yes, they are a priority in my life. If they call me and say, hey, I need to talk. I got a problem. Day or night, I am there for them. Absolutely, positively, without a doubt. I am there for them. But are they the most important thing in my life? I'm sorry, no. Am I the most important thing in their life? No. I wouldn't want to be, because I know their lives. I know what their priorities are. I'm glad I made the list, you know? So please, make a list of your priorities and think about it. Are they what you want? Are they what they should be? And you can do this with your kids. They need to have a list of priorities. It's going to be a lot different than yours because, school is going to be on that list. Sports is going to be on that list. Their friends are going to be on that list. Their hobbies. But they need to have their priorities straight. We all do. So just a little food for thought for this beautiful Sunday. Have a great week.